honest, I'm not even sure what I want to talk about today. I'm just kind of looking for that communion, I guess. We're never meant to be doing walks alone. We're always we were always meant to have communion. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you go to church and you get more judged than, you know, you get more judged than people who you find yourself judging for being, alcoholics, drug addicts, prostitutes, people of the sort. And then you really, really read the Bible and you find out these are the exact people that Jesus was after. Where did he find Mary? He found her in a bar. And she had something like 7 demons on her. Neighbors working on his house over yonder. You're going to hear probably a lot more banging. I'm going to be honest, I've yet to find a church, yet to find one that because, over the last few years of going through churches and stuff, I find the same thing. I find myself walking through the doors and people looking at me immediately and like not wanting to sit by me and stuff because I dress like a skater. I've got tattoos. I walk around with a hat that's got feathers in it. The way that I see it is that if I'm going to go to church and stuff, I'm going to show people exactly who I am. Yeah, I'm a Bigfoot researcher. I'm a Native American. I've got tattoos. I dress like a skater because this is who I am. I'm not really much of a skater. I love snowboarding though. I haven't in a few years. People don't like seeing stuff like that. They want to see tight button ups. They want you to do what they want you to do in order to honor God the Father. And they look at you and they say things like, how dare you dress like this in the Father's house? I'm like, what's wrong with it? I bring the Father back to my house. He owns my house. I don't just give him a room. That's his house. I'm just living there and stuff. And they sit there and they scoff at that. They scoff at it. Here's an analogy. A man gets a knock at his door. He opens up the door. It's Jesus. He says, "Oh, praise God. You're finally here. I've prepared a room for you. I've got you the best room in the house. It's all the way at the top floor and stuff. That way, I mean, it's the best room in the house and stuff." And Jesus is sitting there and he's like, "Okay, okay." And everything. And I want you to be the most comfortable. So we got you the suite, the penthouse suite and stuff. So why don't you go up there and make yourself comfortable, make yourself at home? He said, "Okay." So he goes upstairs, closes the door behind him. He makes himself at home. Man hears another knock at the door. He opens up the door. It's the devil. The devil punches him in the face, laughs at him, runs away really quick. And the guy's sitting there and he's like, "I've got Christ upstairs right now. Like, how bold do you have to be? Like, really? This the devil himself just came to my house, punches me in the face, and then takes off like a coward? I know why he ran. It's because he knew I was about to go grab Jesus." Man hears another knock at the door. He opens up the door. A man rushes through him, bolts right past him, steals a bunch of stuff, and out the door he goes. And he's like, "What is going on here? I've got Christ right upstairs." And he's sitting there and he's like, "Well, why hasn't he done anything about this? Why hasn't he done anything? I mean, I invited him into my house. I gave him a room and stuff. Well, why does this stuff keep happening? Especially with the king right there." And so he goes up and he knocks on the door. He says, "Christ, Lord, I've had 2 knocks on my door since you were here. The first one was the devil. The devil punched me in the face and then he took off laughing." And Christ goes, "Oh." And then he was like, and then there, right after him, another man come rushing through my door and he stole a bunch of my stuff and stuff, and out the door he went. And Christ says, "Oh." And he was like, "But you're not shocked by this?" And he says, "No." And he's like, "What's going on? I gave you the penthouse suite. I made sure that you were comfortable. I made sure that you had, your nice room here tucked away and stuff." And Christ is like, "Okay. And these are all nice things. These are nice things. They are. But I don't want the room. I want you. I don't want a piece of you. I want all of you. I don't want to be tucked away and comfortable and have you go, 'It's okay, Lord. You stay comfortable. I got everything else.'" He says, "I want all of you. If you don't want these things to happen, you have to submit 100%. You have to give all of you to have all of me." So the man sits there and he thinks, "Well, it's all just a house. I can't take it with me. And you tell me that you're preparing a room for me in the Father's house. So it's not even like this house is even really worth anything. Okay, well, Lord, I give you my house. From the very tippy top all the way to the basement. You can have it. Do with it what you will." And that's whenever he smiles. He smiles. And he says, "Okay." And he opens the door. And he walks downstairs. And he sits the living room. And the man's sitting next to him, more comfortable, just hanging out. All of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. And the guy looks at the door and he's, oh boy, here we go again. And stuff. And Christ gets up. He says, you sit still. Let me go answer for you. He opens up the door and he sees the devil sitting there getting ready to jimmy the lock. And he looks up and he goes, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place. I gotta go. And off he goes. If you just sit there and act like Sunday is the day, not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well, you're just giving a room to him. You're not giving him the full house. You're not giving him the full house. Therefore, who's there to guard your door? When you have the King himself guarding your door, come what may, if God is with us, who could be against us? Oh, they may try. And you know what? It doesn't mean that you won't get struck. It doesn't mean that attacks won't come. In fact, when the King is in charge, you're going to get attacked a lot more. A whole lot more. Welcome to the battle. This is a combat zone. This isn't some tea party. Because he who endures to the end shall be saved. So while you sit there and you ponder to yourself, why is God allowing certain things to happen? Why are certain things being knocked on my door? Ponder to yourself two questions here. Number one, have you just given God a room and not the house? Are you getting these knocks on your door because God is tucked away in the highest point, out of reach, out of sight, out of mind? And question number two, are you sure that what has come is not the very storm that has been brought to make you stronger? There are no captains on the sea that are good captains simply from sailing calm waters. I want to sail with the captain that's been through the eye of the hurricane. I don't want to be with the one who sails in a puddle. There's something right over there on that log, and I want to go check it out. I'm not sure exactly what it is, so I'm taking you with me. Oh, the floof all over that. Can we get through right here? Yeah, it's a nasty spider web there, bud. Ugh. Let's go through here. I would rather not be caught in Inkfilmy's web. Oh, that right there would be that's a poor bunny. That's a poor bunny. That right there would be the Cooper's hawks. How I know? Bird poop, feathers. Look at all the feathers. All up high like a dinner plate. That's a little bunny too. That's a little bunny. Look at that. I'd say poor little guy, but if I do that, then the Cooper hawks would starve. And I like my friends. Well, it's good to see that they know how to hunt now, because they are, well, they're yearlings, so they this is their first summer, so they got to learn how to hunt before getting into winter, and that it would be pretty clear that they figured it out. So, well, I don't see hardly any feathers worth taking. See a lot of the little ones. I'm looking for a tail feather from one of them because I would really like a feather from one of them, because they come up, they say hi to me all the time, and yeah. But back to what we were talking about. You never know who's going to knock at your door. And so to have the discernment the questions of, is this something in order to help me grow, or is this a deliberate direct attack? I would rather have the king guarding my ship and guiding my ship rather than, oh, there she is. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby girl. I see you got your rabbit. I see you got your rabbit. You pretty girl. Oh, there's a squirrel up there. Oh, she's looking at him too. You did such a good job. Yes, you did. She's looking at that squirrel. She's like, ooh. You gonna go get him? You think so? You think so? Floofy butt. My goodness. You are just so beautiful. You know that? I tried calling for you earlier. You didn't come. But I think that was because you were having your breakfast. I love Cooper Hawks. There are really not that many of them either, so. Yeah, hello, beautiful. Look at that tail wagging. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Mm. To piggyback off of what I've been saying, you never know who's going to knock at your door, but also you never know if it's going to be a friend or not. Dude. Check this out. Dude! That did not grow like that, you guys. I hope I'm getting that. That did not grow like that. What in the world? That's literally wrapped around. What the? That is super cool. That is just like the knot. Like, I got another, there's another tree over here that they did this to. This is nuts. Trippy, man. So trippy. Little tiny archway. But they did this actually to a little tree over here too, where they literally tied a knot out of the pine tree. That is just so cool. That is so cool. All right. God bless. Stay squatchy. I hope this information taught somebody today. Anybody who's struggling. You know, if you are having a hard time understanding why the door keeps getting bashed down, though you've allowed God in, you need to allow him custody of the entire house, not just a room. He can't protect the house from his room way up in the penthouse suite. You can make him as comfortable as you want. He's going to say, that's fine, but you're putting me in a position to where I can't do anything for you up here other than being something like the star on top of the Christmas tree, you know? So, love you guys. Stay squatchy.